Hey everyone, ready to unlock some next-level tech writing skills? We're taking a deep dive into AI tools that are actually being used by the pros.
And not just any pros. We're breaking down the insights of Curt Robbins.
Right, Curt Robbins, he's a senior technical writer who's been sharing some really cool stuff on his blog and podcast.
Yeah, and what I really appreciate about Curt is that he cuts through all the AI hype and gets straight to what works.
Totally. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, and you know what's at the top of his list?
Yeah.
ChatGPT, which kind of makes sense. It's everywhere these days.
You literally can't avoid it.
Right. But Kurt's not just casually playing around with it. He's actually using it for real work.
And paying for it, too.
Oh.
He specifically calls out that he shells out the $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus.
Yeah, he's very upfront about that,
Hmm.
which I find really interesting because it shows he sees real value in that K tier. Have you ever wondered what those upgrades actually get you?
I mean, I know they give you access to more advanced language models, which basically translates to a smarter AI.
Yeah.
Makes you think, if he's using the paid version for technical writing, it must be worth a look.
Totally. Okay, so ChatGPT is the big one. But Curt also talks about Grok, which is, I have to say, rapidly becoming a favorite in the tech world,
Yeah.
especially with its ties to X, which, used to be Twitter.
Grok is definitely having a moment, and its training system is insane. It uses something called Colossus, which has a ridiculous number of NVIDIA GPUs, something like 100,000.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy powerful. They just released Grok 2, too, even more features.
Okay, so everyone's talking about Grok, and Curt does use it. But here's the thing. He actually prefers other tools for image generation.
He specifically calls out Ideogram.
Yes, Ideogram.
Which I get, it's got its own lane. If you need text seamlessly integrated into images, Ideogram is where it's at.
And he uses it for some pretty practical stuff.
Yeah.
He actually creates title slides for free training resources he offers.
Smart. So even though Grok is getting all the hype right now, Kurt's not afraid to go against the grain and use what actually works best for him.
And he's very open about that.
Yeah.
With Grok, he's pretty upfront about the fact that he doesn't use it that much for images, even though it's getting all this attention.
I mean, it just goes to show, right? Just because a tool is trendy doesn't necessarily make it the best fit for your workflow.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works best for you. So we've got ChatGPT, Grok, and Ideogram so far. What else is in Curt's AI toolkit? I'm curious. Well, now you've got me wondering if I should check out Adobe Firefly.
Oh, yeah. Adobe Firefly. He mentions that in passing.
Does he use it?
He doesn't go into a ton of detail, but it sounds like some of his colleagues have had some good results with it, especially for visual design stuff.
Interesting.
It just goes to show there are so many AI tools out there and more popping up every day, right?
It could feel kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, totally. But I think that's where Kurt's whole philosophy comes in. He's all about remembering that at the end of the day, these tools are just that they're tools.
Right. We shouldn't let them, take over.
Exactly. It's about using them strategically, not letting them dictate how we work. He really stresses that creativity and experimentation, those are still essential even with AI.
So it's less about being an AI expert and more about being a skilled operator.
Yeah, you can have all the fancy kitchen gadgets in the world, but if you don't know how to cook, it doesn't really matter.
I love that analogy. It's so true. Okay, so we've talked about ChatGPT, Grok, Ideogram, even Adobe Firefly. Curt seems to have a real knack for picking the right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm.
But what else does he say about how to actually use these things well?
He makes a really interesting point about AI image generation.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Okay, so you know how everyone's always talking about typing in a prompt and then boom, amazing image appears.
Yeah.
Curt says it's not that simple. He actually compares it to being a film director.
Well, film director. Now that's interesting. Tell me more.
So just like a director guides the actors to get the best performance, Curt believes that we need to actually direct the AI,
So it's about giving it clear instructions, refining the prompts, really working with it to get that perfect output.
Exactly. It's this collaboration between you and the AI. You're both working towards this shared vision, which I think is really cool when you think about it.
It's like learning how to spook AI.
Totally. And Curt's convinced that those who take the time to learn that language, to become fluent in AI, so to speak, they're the ones who are going to have a serious advantage moving forward.
It's like you said earlier, it's not about letting the tools take over. It's about learning how to use them to enhance our own skills, to push our own creative boundaries.
It's about becoming an AI whisperer.
An AI whisperer. I love that. And the best part is anyone can be one, right? It's not like this exclusive club or anything.
Exactly. It's about being curious and willing to experiment and just see what's possible, which is something I think we can all get behind.
Definitely. It's about seeing this whole AI thing not as something to be afraid of, but as an opportunity to learn and grow and create amazing things.
Exactly. It's about shaping the future of work and finding new ways to thrive in it. And frankly, I think that's incredibly exciting.
Me too. So what's the biggest takeaway for our listeners here? What's the one thing you hope they remember from this deep dive into Curt's AI toolkit?
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway is that we're not just talking about tools here. We're talking about a whole mindset shift, you know?
It's about being open to new ways of working,
Yeah. And not being afraid to experiment and learn as you go.
which Curt definitely isn't. He actually talks about how sometimes the biggest limitation with AI isn't the tech itself.
It's us.
It's us. Like our own hesitation to really push the boundaries and think outside the box.
We get stuck in our old ways,
Yeah.
and that can hold us back from really seeing what these tools can do.
So it's about embracing that learning curve, being willing to make mistakes even.
And you know what else? Having some fun along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
This stuff is cool. It's exciting.
It really is. So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to check out AI tools for their own writing, I say go for it. Explore, experiment, find what works for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There's a whole community of writers out there, many of whom are already using these tools.
Connect with each other, share your experiences, learn from each other. It's amazing what you can discover when you open yourself up to new possibilities.
And if you're looking for a guide on your AI journey, Curt actually offers consulting services to help writers navigate this whole new world.
He does.
He's super passionate about helping others succeed, so that's definitely something to check out.
So there you have it, a deep dive into the world of AI tools for tech writers, with insights from the one and only Curt Robbins.
And remember, this is just the beginning.
Exactly. This is a constantly evolving field. New tools and advancements are popping up all the time.
It's an exciting time to be a tech writer, so keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep those creative sparks flying.
Until next time.